How's it going, everybody? MyCupOfTea here, back in a reaction video, and today we're here to continue the Scream 2 Kill Count Recount series. Yay, yay. Now I know we started this back in October, and obviously it's not October anymore, it's December, but who cares about what month it is we gotta watch stuff on? We're gonna watch it now because I started it, I wanna finish it, watching all the Scream recounts. I only remember the first one. I don't know what happens in the second Scream 2. I don't know what happens there. So it's gonna be all new for me, I think. I'm sorry I didn't continue the series during October. I just got sidetracked. But we're here now, cause yeah. The channel's about watching videos that are fun, engaging, yada yada, with you guys. No matter how long it came out, or if it's not the right month or whatever, who cares? Who cares? We're just here to have fun. So yeah, let's start this. Actually, scratch that. While this ass plan, I'm gonna give me a honey bun, cause I have not eaten since I woke up, which was like at 12 p.m. So I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I got my honey bun. The video's here. Let's start this. Let's start this. Lower this down a little bit.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror
need my glasses.
I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Scream 2, released in 1997. With the first Scream a runaway hit, Dimension Films was eager for a sequel. Luckily, screenwriter Kevin Williamson already had an outline for one. As a horror fan, he knew sequels were common, even if they had a reputation of being bad. With most of the script developed before the first film had left theaters, Scream 2 quickly entered production and was released less than a year after the original.
That's
Scream
crazy.
2 follows
That's
Sydney
crazy.
into college, where she's targeted by a copycat Ghostface. With an extra $10 million for the budget, the sequel features big-name stars and even bigger set pieces.
Every actress in town wanted to come into this, the second part of this series.
The crew was equally eager to return, from the casting director down to the prop master.
Oh, nice,
The cast and
nice.
crew frequently called the set a family, led by their returning director daddy, Wes Craven.
Nice.
Production was rushed, though, and faced constant rewrites on the fly. Look at all these script versions, jeez. Some were done without Williamson, since he was busy showrunning Dawson's Creek. These stressful on-set revisions were made because the original script leaked onto the internet. That pissed off Craven so bad, he sounded like me getting annoyed during a live stream.
All of you little fuckers out there that think that's really cute, you fucking ruined our next 3 months.
Despite
I feel that. I feel that. I don't like leaks. I try to stay away from leaks. Like even with the GTA 6 leaks, I'm like, why are you doing this? You don't have to. Let them release it when they want to release it, like news about it. I don't like leaks at all. I don't hate it because I get it sometimes. It's useful, but I don't like leaks, so I stay away from it. But yeah, he's right to be angry. He is definitely right to be angry about that leaking stuff.
the mess.
I think that's really cute. You fucking ruined our next 3 months.
Despite the messy script caused by all the shifting plot points, there are a lot of fans who call Scream 2 their favorite Scream. I'm the opposite. It's probably my least favorite of the series. But thankfully, there ain't no such thing as a bad Scream. Scream 2 just feels the most drawn out to me, and the most repetitive when compared to the first one. Which, yes, I know is partly the point, but after a while, it starts to feel like when they did another trench run in Force Awakens. It also has some specific scenes that bother me. I can't let them go. But the movie's strengths are hella strong, like a lot of its new or promoted characters. It also introduces Stab, the fictional movie within a movie that allowed Williamson to get extra sequel
I think I saw this part.
meta.
That like
The Stab movies become a runner in
movie theater
Scream,
part,
which is great. We wind up with a franchise within
that's
a
funny.
franchise.
That's
Best
funny.
of all, though, is the evolution of the three main characters and the individual relationships
the police
between
officer.
each of them.
That's
Sidney
what it is.
Prescott, in particular, continues to make a case for my favorite character in all of horror. Here, she's the final girl who knows she's living through a sequel, bringing a perfect combination of vulnerability and resolve.
Stop treating me like glass, Dewey. I'm not gonna break.
Of course, the triad of her, Gal, and Dewey only works if everyone excels at their parts, and David Arquette and Courtney Cox continue to find fun folds in their characters. Wes Craven gets a lot of credit for crafting good scares, but he and the actors deserve just as much acclaim for these wonderful performances. They really bring an energy to their performances, just like today's sponsor, AG1 from Athletic Greens, brings an energy to my performance. Isn't that right, Fitness James? AG1 is a nutritional drink I have as part of my morning routine, and it really sets me up for the whole day, with nutrients and phytonutrients to maintain my energy levels and help me perform optimally. What's great is that it's NSF certified, the gold standard for athletes, which I am not in any sense of the word, but hey, still does me good. Now, admittedly, the taste isn't my favorite, but it's mild, and I think worth the benefits. Oh shit, look out, Fitness James! Huh. I guess they just wanted some nutrients too. Support your health journey by clicking the link, where you'll get a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D3K2 and 5 travel packs with your first purchase. Few sequels surpass the quality.
Yeah, this might be the first time I watched a YouTube sponsorship where it's the person says, yeah, it might not taste great or it might not work as well, but yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. They never mentioned like a negative about the product. Okay, it wasn't really negative. He just said the taste isn't for him. But okay. Good job, James. Good job.
Quality of the original, but maybe this one can surpass the quantity of kills. Let's find out.
It's definitely surpassed the quantity of kills. That's how these movies be going.
The movie begins like the first one, with a 90s actress about to watch a scary movie. Since we can't bury more Barrymores, Scream 2 brings in Jada Pinkett as college student Maureen. Jada
Pinkett. Will Smith? Wait a minute. Wait, is that her? They look so different. Well, just like 20, 30 years ago. Dang. No, I won't say nothing. That is the same one that Will Smith married. I'm pretty sure it is. You know what happened. we know what happened.
More Barrymores.
But
Scream 2 brings in Jada Pinkett
1997.
as student Maureen.
Jada Pinkett.
She and her boyfriend Phil are at the now-closed Rialto Theater in Pasadena, previously seen on the kill count in a dream scene in Nightmare 4. This place is getting Billy Castle up in this bitch. Red Right Hand plays as the crowd goes fucking nuts. Like this were a midnight premiere at the Southgate MJR in the mid-2000s. They're here to watch Stab, an in-universe slasher based on the Woodsboro murders in the first film.
It's a true story. All these kids got killed a couple years ago in California.
But it's not just based on the events of Scream. It's shot like the OG Scream 2, except this psychosexual shower shot. You get more TNA when you have Heather Graham playing Fakesy Becker. Audiences would have just seen her in Boogie Nights a few months prior. Later, in Scream 4, we'll see Robert Rodriguez credited as Stab's director. But despite a popular misconception, these scenes were still directed by Wes Craven. Phil heads to the bathroom, where he can't get a dick in thanks to all the ghost faces. Before he can get a poopin' duet going in the stall, he hears some weird noises next door. Is that a little kid voice? What the fuck? In a frankly kind of stupid kill, he puts his ear right up to the nasty ass stall wall, then gets stabbed in the head by a knife strong and long enough to puncture through. Now Phil's cold and he is scared, lying dying on the floor. All thanks to Ghostface.
Not my boy Phil, not the black character dying first.
Phil's death might be meta commentary on the whole black character dies first in a horror movie stereotype, but I've got a note, at least in kill count movies, I haven't seen that trope very often. The killer takes Phil's place next to Maureen, who's too scared of Casey's meta murder to notice the change in screamery. Some shoulder blood finally catches her attention, then a blade catches her.
I've definitely seen this scene before. I've definitely seen this scene before.
Who are screaming their damn lungs out. God, did someone slip Coke in the Coke? Or the Pepsi. Sorry, they make it mighty clear that it's Pepsi. In any case, this theater is ridiculously over the top.
Oh my
but
God.
It's portrayed earnestly enough to keep this horrifying instead of corny. Maureen doesn't die until after she's climbed on stage like someone's got her
she's
name.
like, ah!
The patrons finally realize something's wrong when she gives out a banshee scream. Sidney Prescott is now a world-weary college student who has to fend
I remember seeing that. Afterwards, I don't know what happens.
off prank phone calls. It may just be apocryphal, but according to some, the original Scream caused a surge in use of caller ID.
Hi, did you know that caller ID use tripled after the premiere of Scream?
That's crazy.
The CBS Sunday night movies will be right back.
Thanks, Drew. Sydney attends the fictional Windsor College, and while it's never stated in the movie, the screenplay says it's in Ohio. So I'll take that as canon until stated
otherwise.
Ohio. Sucks for them.
Of course it's Ohio.
Go Blue! It's the same school Phil and Maureen attended before they were killed, and the same school Randy Meeks attends, since he followed Sydney there. To no surprise, Randy's a film major, and the conversation his class has makes me cringe out of my skin. It's fine when they start a meta discussion about the merits of sequels.
Stab 2? Who'd want to do that? Sequels suck.
But the specifics of their combo retroactively feel film bro.
I got it. The Godfather, Part 2.
It's like, I'm 15 and this is deep. The worst is how supposed film geek Randy gets a classic Aliens quote wrong.
Get away from her, you bitch. I believe the line is stay away from her, you bitch. It's film class, right?
Get away from her, you bitch!
The quote was written correctly in the script, but while filming, the 19-year-old Joshua Jackson mixed up his line and said the right quote accidentally. Jamie Kennedy adapted on the fly and gave the misquote as his line. It bugs the hell out of me. It wasn't messed up the first time they filmed this scene in a lecture hall.
Stay away from her, you bitch. That was a great line. One line does not make a movie great.
It was reshot later at UCLA, maybe because the first attempt didn't have Sarah Michelle Gellar or Joshua Jackson. Still had awful dialogue, though.
I got it. Friday the 13th, part 20.
Gellar plays Cece Cooper, a fellow film student, alongside
Okay.
Mickey Altieri, played by Timothy Oliphant. Sid's friend group also includes her roommate Hallie and her new boyfriend Derek.
Halle Berry?
Randy's not a fan
No way.
of Derek. Wonder why.
Oh, I mean, I might. Yeah, I could do it. That'd
Well,
be why.
maybe you'd stand a better chance if you didn't randomly talk in a British accent, Randy.
A lot of shit happens at the movies. People get robbed, shot, maimed, murdered. Multiplex is just a very dangerous place to be these days.
No one knows why J.D. Kennedy did that.
Why did he do
Just
that?
did that in a take.
He just did that in a take. The media
Say less.
storm over the movie theater murders prompts the return of Hurricane Gale Weathers. Highlights
Whoa.
edition. She's chasing numbers again after writing a successful book about the Woodsboro murders. She has a new cameraman, Joel, whom she berates like he were another Kenny. Her
He's gonna
ire
die.
even
He's
extends
gonna die
to the
too.
local press, like reporter Debbie Salt.
Begin quote. Great. Your flattering remarks are both desperate and obvious. End quote.
I love the person in the background going, ouch!
End quote.
Gail tries to score an impromptu exclusive between Sydney and an old, not quite friend, Cotton Weary, her mother Maureen's illicit lover, who was wrongfully imprisoned for her murder. Sydney saw him earlier being interviewed by screenwriter Kevin Williamson in a cameo. The exclusive ends in a familiar way for these ladies.
Get that on film? Yes, I got that on film.
Scream 2 may be the most serious
heck?
of the franchise, but it still has plenty of funny moments. This one came from actors Elise Neal and Dwayne Martin ad-libbing.
When I ad-libbed
Yeah, that's not-
that,
that's not
you know,
funny, Barry.
and I was mad at Dwayne that day because he said it right after me, trying to steal my shine. And like, why are you gonna repeat it? Then they wanted it. And I was like, man,
Man.
I came up with that. Man, I'm trying to like.
He's about to die.
Gal takes a stroll to clear her head and runs into Dewey, who's flown out to keep an eye on Sid. Poor guy's got a limp because of a severed nerve from that stab to the back. He's
that's
not
right,
keen
yeah,
to
yeah.
rekindle a romance with Gal, since she
God,
talked a
Dewey,
bit of
alright.
shit about him in her book.
Page 41. Deputy Dewey oozed with inexperience.
I love this speed bump in their relationship. He's so wounded by her betrayal, and while she
That's-
doesn't feel
that is
bad,
betrayal.
she does seem to admire his earnestness. Their chemistry is great, partly because the two actors had started dating in real life.
Oh,
But
nice.
it's gonna take Gail more than puppy dog eyes to fix Dewey's deeply hurt feelings. Dewey has a much
I think
better
you mentioned that in
reunion
the
with
first
Sid,
movie.
where their sibling-like relationship flourishes.
couple.
It makes sense. She was his little sister's best friend, and with Tatum gone, Sydney works as a replacement sibling.
Our surrogate big brother.
The scene also introduces Dewey's theme, a musical leitmotif that perfectly suits his character. I sadly don't get to talk about music a lot on the kill count, because playing clips with music is an easy way to get copyright claims.
Yep.
Marco Beltrami's work is important to the Scream series, though. The original film was the first feature-length score he composed, and he'd worked with Craven 6 more times, including on Screams 2, 3, and 4. I love his Morricone-inspired work in Scream, and the haunting choral voices of Sidney's lament. But Dewey's theme
I'm gonna have
was
to hear
not
those-
one of
the
his
music.
pieces. It was originally composed by Hans Zimmer for the 1996 film Broken Arrow.
I don't know that
Sydney
it-
gets
I'm-
invited
I
to
don't
a
know movies, I'm
sorority
sorry.
mixer by a
I'm
pair of
sorry.
Stepford sister wives, Lois and Murphy. They're played by a pre-Arrested Development Portia de Rossi and Rebecca Gayheart, who would wind up in the Scream-esque urban legend the next year. Despite Sid's reluctance, Hallie drags her along for a night out with these super friendly sisters.
Sydney, you made it. Hi. No, I really mean that. Hi.
She really means that.
Hi.
This party features Everclear and Matthew Lillard in the background. He had dropped by to visit Nev Campbell on set, right before the two briefly dated. Not at the party is Randy's classmate Cece, who's sober-sitting the sorority house while her sisters rage. She's played by Buffy herself, Sarah Michelle
Hey,
Gellar,
Buffy the
who had
Vampire
just
Slayer?
finished filming the Williamson-penned I Know What You Did Last Summer. It doesn't take long for her to get a threatening phone call.
Look, do you want to leave a message for someone?
And we hang up the phone today.
Cece CC's if someone's outside, but it's just Donnie, a fellow sister played by a young Marisol Nichols. Last seen on the kill count in Spiral getting a steamy facial. Oh
my
sorry,
God.
phrasing. Donnie
Yeah,
leaves the
phrase,
door
please.
open, letting a ghost face
PG.
in, so Cece is soon attacked by a killer with cruel intentions. He Scooby-Doo chases
Wait, what
her
happened?
upstairs,
How did it happen?
getting a steamy facial. Oh, sorry, phrasing. Donnie leaves the door open, letting a ghost
Oh,
face in,
that's how-
so
okay.
Cece is soon attacked by a killer with cruel intentions. He Scooby-Doo chases her upstairs, getting all sorts of shit thrown
Yeah.
at him, including a bike. Ultimately,
bike come
she gets thrown through a glass door
Dang.
and stabbed in the back. Ghostface then tosses Cece over the
Cece,
balcony,
no! Oh my
and
God.
Daphne goes splatney on the pavement below. News of the
Jeez.
murder reaches the mixer, and the partygoers leave to check out the crime scene, including the greatest extra of all time. God, I love that guy. Look at his stupid face.
What's going on here?
The crowd also includes this good boy, whom it looks like
Hey.
Liev Schreiber brought to set and insisted be in the picture.
Just walk down the steps. Can you hit a mark? He can hit a mark.
Can you hit a mark?
Mark. Rudy, can you hit a mark? See that?
Was very excited the dog succeeded. This kind of chaos is old hat for Sid, so she decides to turn in for the night. Right after, she takes one last phone call.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney. Remember me?
A chase ensues.
Didn't they
but
get arrested
Sydney
last
manages
movie?
to get to
Oh,
the back
here.
door unstabbed. Derek dashes inside to confront her assailant, but when Dewey follows suit, all he finds is a bloodied boyfriend, but not too bloodied, making him look mighty suspect.
Very
in the long
suspect.
dark shadow of Billy Loomis.
Why would you try to confront somebody with a knife in their hands without a knife in your hand? Why not have a weapon in your hand to confront that guy with a weapon in his hand? Why even go there to begin with? Why are we not leaving? Questions. Maybe he might be the... Is there another Scream? Is there 2 Screams again? I don't remember this
Too
movie.
bloodied, making him look
I don't
mighty
think- yeah, I don't think I
suspect
watched
in
it.
the long dark shadow of Billy Loomis.
You're lucky he didn't kill you.
Yeah, it's awfully convenient.
Gal and
Yeah,
Dewey
very
meet with Police
convenient.
Chief Hartley and figure out the connection between the victims.
Is Cece the girl's real name?
Casey Cooper.
As in Casey Becker?
With Phil Stevens representing Casey's boyfriend Steve and Maureen Evans standing in for Sydney's mom Maureen Prescott, the police officially determine they're dealing with a copycat killer. Well, Gal determines it. Give credit where credit
Probably
is
going off on
due.
the names
Either
of
way,
the
Chief Hartley
past
must be
killers.
proud
Kills,
since
okay.
he's played by David Arquette's real-life father, Louis Arquette. But Gal's investigative charms still haven't won Dewey back over yet.
Come on, Dewey. Smile just once.
I'll smile when I catch the killer.
Sydney sits down for a quiet
I expect
lunch,
it, Dewey.
but Derek ain't about to let that happen.
And so I just decided to myself, I'd hide it to myself.
What is he doing?
I don't...
Ruining the movie is
I don't
what he's
know.
doing
Why is he
by
starting
breaking
singing?
out into song to prove his love to Sid.
I think I love you.
Don't do this.
Yeah, man, please don't. It's an acknowledged reference to Top Gun, where Tom Cruise does the same thing with a different song. It's awful in that movie, and it's even worse here. I can't stand it. I hate everything about it. I hate how long it goes on for.
How long does it
I hate
go?
Vicky's stupid dance moves. Fuck you all for clapping. It sucks so bad. And stop conducting, dude. It's so cringe. This Partridge Family song had to be sung by Jerry O'Connell during his audition. Personally, I might have just passed on the part. The cast hated doing it as much as I hate watching it.
Yeah, I thought it was like a little 20-second I'm saying to you as I get close to you and we stop it there. This man hopping on tables like he in High School Musical. High School Musical got the idea from this movie. High School Musical 2, the lunch scene, they got it from this movie.
None of us really like that song.
Look at this shit. You can tell O'Connell would rather be hiking towards a dead body.
I did the best I could.
Yeah, you did, when you weren't stepping on the wrong table. At the end of this garbage, Derek gives Sid his fraternity letters, which they say is a frat faux pas. I don't know if that's real or not. It's all Greek to me. With that cafe-tastrophe over, we check in with Randy and Dewdrop, who's drinking a milkshake just like he had his little ice cream cone
Hey,
in the
nice.
original. Dewey the Dairy fan. The two watch a scene from Stab on TV, where Billy Loomis is played by Luke Wilson. I guess because of Bottle Rocket? I love how they recreate the hilarious end of that scene. Stupid. I mentioned that in Stab, Dewey's played by David Schwimmer, co-star to Courtney Cox in Friends. As for Sydney, she's played by Tori Spelling, which was mentioned as a potentiality in the first Scream.
I see you as a young Meg Ryan myself.
Thanks, Dewey. With my luck, they'd cast Tori Spelling.
Randy once again explains the rules of a horror movie, but this time as they specifically pertain to sequels.
Number 1, the body count is always bigger. Number 2, the death scenes are always much more elaborate. More blood, more gore.
As always, David Arquette is hilarious in how specific and unique his acting is.
Maybe you are a suspect.
Well, if I'm a suspect, you're a suspect.
Here's one thing you need to do before...
I don't know that's how that works there, but alright. If you say so. We're gonna skip this. I want to get straight into the action. I don't need AirPods. I don't got no AirPods stuff.
You are a suspect.
Well, if I'm a suspect, you're a suspect.
You have a point.
Sydney tries to back out of the leading role in her school's play.
Flash.
I've never loved this Agamemnon subplot, written by Craven during one of the on-set rewrites. But I do like the thematic resonance of Sydney playing Cassandra, the Oracle whose warnings were always ignored. It also gives us a cameo by the late David Warner as her teacher, last seen on the kill count in The Ice Cream Man. Rest in peace. He doesn't believe in bad omens, so he tells her the show must go on. During rehearsal, Sydney gets screamy once the fake knives start flying and the hooded faces start ghosting. She runs off stage to weep in the wings, where Derek all of a sudden appears. With that killer boyfriend, Shadow of Billy, still looming over her, Sydney breaks up with Derek. She ain't about to let no second Lion King ruin her pride. Dewey and Randy meet up with Gal and Joel.
Let me try to guess it. Maybe the boyfriend is not Scream. He's just in these horrible coincidence. He's like shows up at the right time or the wrong time in this case. Maybe it's somebody else. I think we saw. I can't remember the name right now. It's not this black guy. He's my homie.
He's gotten nervous since learning that Kenny was killed.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, he's gonna die too. He's a cameraman.
The guy ain't in the union no more.
He leaves to grab a coffee, and the others get a phone call.
I'm not interrupting anything, am I? You three look deep in thought.
It sounds like the killer is watching them, so Randy stays on the line while Dewey and Gale assault every student with a cell phone on the diet.
That's not smart.
The quad. Windsor College was played by Agnes Scott, a private women's college in metro Atlanta. It provided most of the exterior and interior locations.
Nice.
Beautiful campus. Ghostface teases
nice.
Randy and says he'll always be the geeky supporting character, never the MC.
Fuck you!
Unfortunately for Randy, the call is coming from inside the news van. And no one hears him struggling over these B-boys blaring Cottonmouth Kings.
Not the B-boys.
I listened to an embarrassing amount of Cottonmouth Kings, and was kind of excited to find a music video of theirs on the Scream 2 Blu-ray. By the time Gal and Dewey find him, Randy's become the first legacy character to
Randy,
die.
no.
Hot dog got ketchup to death. Yeah, let it out, Gal. No relish in it. Sydney gets a threatening instant message in the library, scrambling her security detail, Officers Andrews and Richards. Their names are taken after the kid actors in Halloween, Brian Andrews and Kyle Richards. They do a shithouse job, leaving Sid alone so she can get jumped by Cotton Weary. He's eager to step into the spotlight by doing a talk show sit-down with her.
We're talking primetime, Sid. You, me, and Diane Sawyer.
Understandably, she refuses. Also understandably, Cotton's gotten a little weary of being labeled the bad guy.
I mean, come on, Cindy, you dragged my name through the mud. Everybody thinks I'm some kind of psycho killer, and all I'm asking for is one little fucking Diane Sawyer interview to maybe get my side of the story straight.
He just wants everything illuminated. I love how Cotton Weary was brought back for Scream 2.
He was just a throwaway character in the first film, and we never thought we'd see Lev again.
We lucked out that Liev Schreiber was cast for this single shot of him in Scream 1.
I can't remember what did he do in Scream 1?
All I had to do was to get out of a car and walk up a flight of stairs. It was one of the easiest jobs I've ever done.
Cotton's so interesting, an awkward guy who's been profoundly affected by being wrongly accused. I love how he has a decent point here, but is way too aggro explaining it. It gets him arrested, but he's released due to lack of evidence. Sydney doesn't know who to trust anymore, since after all,
everybody's a suspect!
Everyone is a suspect, yeah.
Because he's dead. In fact, his death prompts Joel to be the smartest horror movie character ever. Not wanting to go the way of Kenny, he straight up leaves the movie, which was an idea Dwayne Martin had and pitched to Craven.
He goes, how would you leave? I said, cab.
He's a genius. My brother's a genius. My brother's a
You
genius.
wanna leave by taxi? I said, yeah. He said, all right.
And that's exactly what he does.
He's smart.
Randy's death
He's
also
smart
hits
one.
Gale like hell, causing her to verbally lick Debbie Salt. Salt's been around seasoning some scenes, and even casting suspicions towards the story-seeking Gale.
Well, it just seems to me that if the killer is repeating what happened in Woodsboro, it's quite possible that the killer could be from Woodsboro.
But at this point, Gale wants to do the right thing without any regard for ratings.
I just want to find this fucker.
Okay, character development.
I really do.
That finally wins over Dewey, and the two take Joel's footage to the film school to try to find a ghost face in the grassy knoll. The home movies get them hot and heavy with each other.
That's
they
wild.
take a break when they take a break, Dewey.
They
They realize someone spliced the live feed into the footage they're watching. It ain't Tyler Durden in the projection booth. It's a non-union editing ghost face, motherfucker.
Oh, no.
In the ensuing awesome chase scene, which is always a highlight of Screams, Dewey ends up in a soundproof booth where he's stabbed in the back once again.
Ugh.
Gale watches helplessly, and then Ghostface pulls his classic
He
disappearing.
didn't show up.
When
He's
Gale
still
runs
alive.
into a
He's
bloody
still alive.
Cotton in the hallway, she's convinced she's found the killer. She even lets Debbie Salt in on the scoop.
Cotton Man, no, I forgot his name. No, why you keep showing up at the wrong times? Also, Dewey did not show up on the kill count feed like in the last movie. I think he's okay. I think the Deuster is okay.
The killer is Cotton
Cotton weary.
Elsewhere, Derek bids Sydney a farewell as she departs with Hallie to safer shores. He's quickly attacked by hooded figures, but they ain't ghost faces, they Greek faces.
Oh,
Here to
not the
haze
Greeks.
Derek for giving
Not the
Sydney his
hazing.
frat letters. You know.
Frat stuff.
Frat
No king
stuff.
but Caesar, crucify him! Yeah, and make his penis shotgun a beer. Heads up, little buddy! When Sydney's police escort stops at a traffic light, Ghostface sucker punches
Oh my
Andrews
God.
through the window. Sucker slices his neck open. Splurt! Richards takes a
Who did
beating, but pops up to play the hero. Then he Ghostface rides the whip when the killer floors the gas. The new hood ornament tries to get a shot off with his gun, but his wild ride ends in hell when his head is impaled
Oh
on
my
a bunch
God.
of pipes. Ooh, baby, that driver's batshit. God, those final death twitches are seriously disturbing.
Ugh.
Look at his little hand wiggle. Ugh. The crash knocks Ghostface out, giving Sydney and Hallie the chance to escape the back seat.
That
This
must be the
suspense sequence
child
wasn't
locked
in
one.
the script. Craven said they came up with the idea on set. That means Nev Campbell had to do this back-bending stunt without any preparation. But she always loved the physical aspect of playing Sydney, and credits her
Okay.
history as a dancer for her athleticism. Sid nearly unmasks the killer, but has
Don't
to
do that.
abort the mission when she slips out a little toot. I still think it's dumb she doesn't do it, and she does too after she and Hallie escape
he didn't
down
wake
the
up?
street. She runs back to fix the mistake, only to find that the fender-bending Phantom ain't in the car no mo. Instead, he's
Dang.
right behind a clueless Hallie.
What?
Whom he stabs
Hallie-
to death
oh my
in
God, he's
front of
fast.
Sydney, then drops her body to the ground.
He is fast.
Hallie feels
This-
a little underutilized to me, maybe because
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
originally supposed to be one of the killers before the extensive
Oh.
rewrites. Sid makes it back to campus
That
where
makes
a
sense.
siren song lures her into the theater. On stage, she's jump scared by a Jesus Christ superstar, Derek, bound and boozy from that hazing session earlier. Before she can untie him, she stops.
College kids were wild back in the day. They were wild with these hazing stuff.
Superstar.
Thank
Derek,
God they
bound and
enforced
boozy
like,
from
hey,
that hazing
stop that
session
hazing
earlier.
stuff.
Before she can untie him, she's stopped by Ghostface, who reveals himself to be... yeah,
Who?
Mickey.
Surprise, Sydney.
Who's Mickey?
I mean, I guess, but mostly because I had forgotten that character existed. Dude literally hasn't been in the movie since 45 minutes
This is Mickey. I'm like, who is Mickey? Okay, sure.
ago when he was waving his arms around like a jackass. Timothy Oliphant tries his best to save this lame reveal, but Mickey's still just a second-rate stew.
Surprise, Sydney.
Mickey implies that Derek has been his partner in crime all along. The frat bro asks Sydney to stand by him, but she's unable to bring herself to trust him. As she's frozen in hesitation, Mickey plugs a hole straight through
Oh my
Derek's
God.
broken heart.
This
Mickey
man's
sucks as
efficient.
a reveal, but it is downright evil the way he makes Sid feel guilty for suspecting Derek right up to his death.
You
Dang.
really deal with your trust issues, Sid.
He reveals he's got a case of the crazies with a harebrained homicidal scheme to get caught. Then he'll bask in the media frenzy and blame his murder spree on horror movies. Killing people to become famous is a sadly prescient
That's-
motivation.
that's-
It resonates
that's
with earlier
disturbing.
dialogue about
That's
life
wild.
imitating art.
And
You
disturbing.
can't blame real life violence on entertainment.
Hello, the murderer was wearing a ghost mask, okay? Just like in the movie, it's directly responsible.
No, it's not.
This commentary also helped Scream 2 with the MPAA.
The opening, they felt, was an excellent commentary on the nature of horror movies and that we were being responsible by making that in some way.
There's still one elephant in the room, though, who might be working with Mickey as a second ghost face.
Yeah.
Turns out it's Gail Weathers. Nah, just kidding. It's
Oh.
crazy-eyed Debbie Salt, whose real
I was about to say, like, there ain't no way it's Gail. It makes sense it's her. I was about to say, there's no way it's Gail.
name is...
Mrs. Loomis?
That's
Who?
right. That lady is...
Billy's mother.
What?
Scream 2 originally had a very different ending, back when it was filmed as Scream the sequel, before Miramax demanded a title change. Mrs. Loomis was always the primary antagonist, but at first she had 3 accomplices, Derek, Hallie,
3?
and Cotton Weir.
That's a little bit too much. That's a little bit too much.
When that draft got leaked, revisions and secrecy followed. A fake script was written, which was also leaked. Scripts were printed in a way to prevent photocopying, and most people's scripts had the last act largely blacked out.
Or I remember seeing a lot of blacked out pages in my script. So I thought I might be wearing one of those.
Laurie Metcalf's hunch was right, and the matriarchal murderer was foreshadowed earlier by Randy.
Mrs. Voorhees was a terrific serial killer.
I was about to mention, it's like they're mentioning doing the Friday the 13th, because the first movie, Jason Voorhees' mother was the killer, and the second movie was Jason came back to life, something like that. It was the killer. I was about to mention that, but okay. Yeah.
The murderer was foreshadowed earlier by Randy.
Mrs. Voorhees was a terrific serial killer.
Like Pamela, Mrs. Loomis wants to avenge her son's death, so she plans on killing Sydney and enlisted Mickey online to help her.
Oh,
as for
Sid did
Mickey's
die.
plan,
Okay.
She knows it's dumb as shit, so she turns on him and shoots the loose end.
My
the
shoulder.
psycho cinephile lets off a shot that hits Gal in the tum-tum. She
Ooh.
stage dives into the theater pit for pretty much the rest of the movie. Unlike Mickey, Mrs. Loomis is a great Ghostface reveal, especially because Laurie Metcalf plays her as delightfully unhinged.
I am sick to death of people saying that it's all the parents' fault. It all starts with the family. You want to blame someone? Why don't you blame your mother?
Sydney manages to break away with a breakaway bomb.
The other guy, Mikey, I don't know. That was pretty weak. This real made more sense because mother of Sid, I think it was Sid. He was a reporter as well, getting information. That makes sense.
Before fighting firepower with fake fire. God, this part is dumb as hell too. What kind of antagonist gets defeated by college drama department props?
That's wild.
What are you doing, Sid? Trying to scare her away with noise? She ain't a bear. Their struggle is interrupted by a stray gunshot from Cotton, whom Sydney quickly catches up and introduces to Crazy Eyes Deb. Mrs. Loomis tries to convince Cotton to let Sydney die, but he's gonna base his actions on how they best benefit him.
Bet you that Diane Sawyer interview's looking real good right about now.
Since Sydney would take Diane over Diane, she accepts the offer. Cotton shoots the homicidal housewife, ensuring that Lady Bird will grow up an orphan. Sydney grabs the gun and gets jump scared by Gal, who says the bullet just bounced off her ribs. Well then, nice of you to help back there, Gal! Since this ain't these ladies' first rodeo, they're suspicious of Laurie Metcalf's death face.
They always come back.
But it's the Deadwood that ain't so dead.
Oh,
Mickey
shoot him.
still got some
Dang, they
heat.
lasered him
quickly
up.
gun him down, sending his body
I forgot he didn't
upstage.
pop up.
Downstage. I can never remember. It was a justified shooting though, so Sydney has nothing to worry about.
Double tap.
That one was closer to a cause for concern. Hope Sydney gets some therapy after this. The paramedics arrive alongside Joel, who comes back to cover the night's events. Gale can't be bothered though, after spotting Dewey doing the same old backjam Jesus routine he did in the original. Instead of filing a report, Gale picks her heart over her job and rides off with the Deuster in the ambulance.
Dewey's back
Sydney is swarmed
alive.
by reporters, but she directs them to Cotton Weary instead, calling him a hero and giving him the 15 minutes of fame he's been craving. The movie ends with some 90s post-grunge as Sydney walks away to, wait, where is she going? Literally all her college friends are dead. How many co-eds received a deadly degree
Dang.
in sequel school?
I didn't even know about that.
Well, I want to tell you, but this morning, I woke up with this feeling
You woke up
I
with.
didn't know how to deal with.
What happened?
And so I just decided
No, stop it. Don't sing it too.
I
No,
to
don't get off the
myself,
table. Get off the stool.
Never talk about it.
How do I skip this? How do I skip this?
Shout it when you ask for a kill count. Let's get to the numbers.
Just like.
Let's get to the numbers.
Oh no, people joined us.
Let's get to the numbers. Isn't that what the show was based on? Though it's much more
And Mikey,
nowadays, I still
he's
always
still going
gotta
with this.
say, let's get to the numbers.
Dislike, right? I was kidding.
10 people died in Scream 2, with the victims 6 men and 4 women, giving us these sequel slices of pie. Sure enough, Randy was right. The second installment had more kills than the first.
About
3
three or
more.
two-
With a
three,
runtime
okay.
of 120 minutes, that gave us a kill on average every 12 minutes flat. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to Officer Richards. It's easily
the
the
pie to the head,
goriest
yeah,
death
makes
in the
sense.
movie, and the post-death twitching is the cherry on top. Dome Machete for lamest kill will go to Hallie, since it's a
Yeah.
basic slice and dice
stab
with
in
an
his chest.
exceptionally dumb build-up.
What?
He
You
just came
heard
out of
me,
nowhere.
and that's it.
What?
Scream 2 was released in 1997. The original trilogy would be capped off with Scream 3 in 2000, which I'll look at next week. But until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching this Kill Count recount on Scream 2. It's good to be
Yeah, I
back
see the
in the
stab in
swing
the
of filming
background
kill
over there in
counts.
his
I missed
set.
them, even though these are recounts. They're still just as good as new ones. It's all new information, people.
It is new
Think This is
information.
the same video as like the 7-minute thing I uploaded in 2017? No.
Yeah, it was
No,
like
it's
seven-
not. Thank
it was
you,
like 12
Zoran,
minutes,
for
I think.
driving over to our house just to be in that to the numbers bit. I mean, I guess I'm paying
Just-
him to do it, but
just for the
still, it
numbers
was nice
bit.
of him to come. Is Scream 2 your favorite sequel? Like, it might have my favorite dynamics between the main cast, but everything else just weighs it down just below
don't
the
like the
level
singing,
of the other
huh,
movies.
James?
I know I used to
What's
hate
going on?
Scream 3, but you'll see next week, I love that movie now. I want to thank some patrons like Ari Koo, Jeff Lowe, Brandon Logan, Tyler Brom, Thebo, Skeptic Mantis, and Ryan Moore. Thanks, everyone. Be good people.
I didn't mean to pause. I want to finish that. There it is. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. That was fun. Oh, give that a like real quick, even though he did that that song at the end. Let's get to the numbers. Nope. Stop it. We're not singing. We're not singing along. We're not doing this. I can see why he would prefer Scream 1 over Scream 2. But I also can see why some people would like Scream 2 over Scream 1. Like, they consider Scream 2 their favorite. A lot of character moments right here. I do think... something, because he did say that... James did say that the script got rewritten, like, a bunch of times because it got leaked. Darn you leakers. But it seemed like the original script would have had 3 accomplices, there we go, to the main villain antagonist, which was that reporter lady, who I forgot her name. That was Stu's mother. Okay, I thought that would have been a little bit too much, because like, how would you fight against like 3? Well, they had the script done, so maybe they had a solution. But yeah, that Mike reveal, that was pretty weak. I'm like, I completely forgot about him. I was like, who? Did I see you in this movie? In this video? Deucer's still alive. Glad he's still there. Yeah, it's just, don't be friends with the main character of this show because you will die. Because all her friends are dead. Push her to the edge. And I don't know what's gonna happen in Scream 3. Would she find like new friends, like graduate college, and, like start a life or something? I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, Scream 3 is like the conclusion of this trilogy, but we know there's multiple Screams. I think there's a Scream 5 or maybe a 6 that came out this year or last year. But this is an interesting series. But yeah, that's gonna conclude it for this video. Hope you enjoyed my reaction. Hope you enjoyed movie time. We got to see some cool stuff, some cool kills, some cool moments, and High School Musical section if you like that. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching. My cup of tea is out of here. Arrivederci, everyone. I really can't believe he did that singing thing. I know he had to go through the pain of watching the movie and hearing that singing scene, but we didn't have to go through the pain of that. He didn't have to sing it at the end. I'm just kidding. It was okay song. It was okay.